So, hello everybody, it's batz here, back with another video on the batz channel, and today we're going to be doing another theory. Now, this is not just any theory, this is an Undertale theory. I'm really excited for this theory, and it's a theory I've worked on for quite a while. So, today we're here to figure out that if you keep resetting every time you die in the Sands battle, if your character would forget, or Chara would forget, about everything that happened in the boss battle, therefore making it impossible. So, let's just get started. So, if you go into Undertale and play through the game, then reset the world, well, no one remembers you. No one remembers you. None of the characters in the game remember who you were. But there are two people in the game that will remember you every other couple times that you reset, until eventually you reset enough that they forget. And that's Flowey and Sands. These are two characters that, you know, they have the ability to save and go through different timelines and tell how many times you died to them. So let's look at how this would work for the Sands battle. To beat the Sands fight, you need to die and reset, getting further each time, learning his moves. But technically, if only Flowey and Sands can remember, you can't. You can't remember his moves. So every time you save and come back, you wouldn't remember any of his moves, and you would keep dying on the first attack, resetting, forgetting, and retrying. Still don't believe me? Okay, well, that just makes this video longer. Alright, in the game, during the pacifist Azrael boss fight, he says every time you die, your friends forget you just a little more. So every time you die in the Sands boss fight or any other boss fight in the game, everyone forgets you a little more, and so do you. Now, you forget everything after every couple of deaths in the fight, like Sands would. So, number one, if you don't forget the first time, you'll at least forget it every couple times because everyone does. And the cycle will just continue. Right now, you're probably sitting there typing up a comment right now going, well, that would mean Sands wouldn't remember you either. Theory debunked. Well, actually, since technically Flowey and Sands can manipulate time and space, they just travel between every new timeline, and they remember everything that happened before until you reset so many times that they can't remember. So, I mean, yeah, they kind of remember everything for a certain amount of time until you reset enough that they forget. So they will remember you for quite a while. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into some other evidence, alright? Now, Azrael, aka Flowey, is not the only one who speaks of this. So does Sands in his very own boss fight, alright? Let's get over to that. He says, timelines jumping left and right, stopping and starting until suddenly everything ends. You can't understand how this feels. You can't understand how it feels because whenever you reset, everyone loses their memory of what happened. You forget what it feels like to have your world be reset over and over again. But Sands and Flowey can remember because they never forget. They're always jumping between timelines. They can remember what it's like. So you can't remember it. So you can't remember how it feels to be reset or what happens in a previous timeline. Every time you fight is a different timeline, and you will never be able to remember his attacks, and you will endlessly die. And again, in his own fight, he says, we'll just end up right back here without any memory of it, right? And then in Azrael's fight, when he's talking about just wanting to reset the world, he says, all of your progress, everyone's memories, I'll bring them back down to zero. I mean, what did he just say? All your memories? Well, that means when you reset a timeline or load a save, all memories of what happened before that save will be non-existent, meaning the Sands fight would be unbeatable because when you load, you are alive again, but with no memory of the fight. Also, in this fight, Azrael says, every time you die, your grip on this world slips away. Every time you die, your friends forget you a little more. So if every time you die, you lose grip on the world and your memories of the world, you wouldn't remember the moves of Sands' fight, making it impossible. And again in this fight, Azrael says, in a few moments you'll forget everything too. Also proving in a literal sentence from a battle in the game that when the timeline is reset, you forget everything that happened before. And to be honest, I like that ending. And I wish it would be canon. An ending where after all you've done, Sands gets his revenge. And every time in every timeline that you would pay for what you did. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Try to hit me if you're able, cause you figured out that mercy's off the table. I can tell you're getting really sick of trying, but I think you'll just magic keep dying. You're not gonna win, we'll be here together, fighting in this judgment hall forever. And now you just reset, each time I'll beat ya, but I'll always be right back here to meet ya.